how should Thomas Frank deal with Spence and Van der Ven?
Caicedo down the middle, he squares it to Pedro, it's 1-0 to Chelsea, and Pedro wheels away in celebration. 3 wins in 19 games at home in the Premier League for Spurs.
Ven and Djed Spence, when Thomas Frank walked on the pitch. So I think that is a problem, because if you're Thomas Frank, the way that he looked round, it was a lack of respect.
For me, if I was the manager, they wouldn't be playing midweek or at the weekend against Manchester United.
Undermining Frank like that, it was absolutely disgusting, I thought.
Full time at Chelsea's playground, aka the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Spurs 0, Chelsea 1.
Yeah, Spurs will be at 1-0 at home by Chelsea on Saturday. João Pedro scoring the only goal of the game. It means that Spurs have won just 1 of their 5 League games so far this season. But the big talking point came after the game when Thomas Frank asked Djed Spence and Micky Van der Ven to applaud the fans, only to be ignored by them as they walked down the tunnel. Frank has been speaking to the media today and he addressed that incident.
Micky and Djed came into my office yesterday unprompted, just said they want to say sorry for the situation. They didn't want it to look bad or disrespectful or all kind of perception you can get in this beautiful media world. So that was not their intention at all towards me or the team or the club. They were just frustrated with the performance, the loss and the booing during the game.
Now, the fact they've gone into his office unprompted and they've apologised, right? I think our next discussion shouldn't be about whether or not they were right or wrong, because they know they've been wrong.
Yeah, but wrong in what sense? The only part...
What have they apologised for?
For being disrespectful to him. That's it.
No, I think they've apologised for not applauding the fans.
No, it's
I
not.
think they have.
It's not that. It's
That's
because
basically what he's alluding to.
he's apologised for him. That this is sorry, Gaffer.
No, you just said not applauding the fans.
No,
Do you want to play it again?
You play it again. But I'm
Jack,
telling you now.
Play it again. I'm sure he said that. Jack, have you got that? Oh, it's going to take days.
I'm telling you now that
Micky and Djed came into my office yesterday unprompted, just said they want to say sorry for the situation. They didn't want it to look bad or disrespectful or all kind of perception you can get in this beautiful media world. So that was not their intention at all towards me.
Jack, all right, yeah. So I told you. I'm telling you now, they went into his office to say Gaffer.
So they haven't apologised to the fans?
No, because and the reason
that's terrible.
Well, it's not because they probably did applaud. They would have definitely 100% applauded.
To them.
Why have they got to do that?
What do you mean why? Because they're paying customers and they've let them down.
Okay, what's the difference? Me applauding where I'm standing or going up to your face and applauding?
No. If it's
what's the difference?
I'm going to tell you. If I'll ask me a question, I'll answer it. If you've got 10 teammates and you, so there's the 11, and 10 go over to the corner, and you're on your own, you're wrong.
No, it's not, because I'm still doing the exact same thing as you.
They're going over to the fans.
But that's up to them. Hold
on. Everything's up to everyone.
I've got no issue with it, because if they didn't applaud and just walked off, then that's not right.
Because you know how things can get blown up, right? So understand the situation, and if all of your teammates have gone over to the corner to applaud a certain section, you go with. Just go with them.
I'm only telling you that the story.
Just go with them.
The story's only blown up because the gaffer was there. Right, if you remove Thomas Frank from that situation and they just walk in,
maybe because it's been highlighted.
So that's why they apologised. They went into the office to say,
not to the fans.
No, to go, Gaffer. Do you know what? You were standing there. We walked past you. It's disrespectful. We apologise. Right, because if that was for the fans, Thomas Frank would have said the boys came into the office. They apologised for not applauding the fans. He didn't. He just said they apologized off their own back.
They should apologise to the fans.
I don't think they should, because they probably
because they were awful. They had one shot on target in 90 minutes. They were awful.
They were awful, but they still applauded. It doesn't matter where they applaud from.
No, you are 100% right. It doesn't if they all do it as a group.
Oh, no, see,
here's the thing. If 9 of them take the time to walk over to a section, 9 of them, and you're the only... understand your surroundings. If you're the only 2 that aren't doing it, you're going to be picked on.
Well, no, but I get that. But no, I don't. If they've not applauded, and this is what I'm saying.
All right,
but if they hadn't applauded, I'd 100% agree with you and say, do you know what? Paying fan and all that. But I just think it's been blown out of proportion. If they did applaud, they just didn't go over there and applaud.
And they should have done.
No, they shouldn't have.
If you're like 10 years old and you love Djed Spence, and you go, oh, Dad, what, they'll come over. Yeah, they'll come over. Jed's coming over in a minute. Where is he? I'll be over in a minute. Oh, he didn't come over? No, he didn't come over.
No, but you know, what you do is...
Letting the fans down.
No, I'm not having that.
You should, collectively, if you're all going to go over to a certain area and apologise to the fans and give them a round of applause for paying their hard-earned money to come see you lose.
Yeah.
The least you can do. The least you
can do. And boo, by the way.
Yeah, well, they've every right to boo. They're awful.
Well,
Tottenham.
and I've got every right to applaud them. Where I want to applaud them from. if I want to applaud them from,
you haven't
from,
got
the,
every
from
right.
the dressing room,
You ain't got any rights. You want 200 grand a week. You've got no rights.
If they didn't applaud,
yeah,
I would be in your camp, right? I'd agree with you.
There's a big difference between this and going up to them and going, well, thanks for coming, cheers.
But any team that's been beat never do that.
Well, they should do it.
No team's going to go up to the fans and go, like, cheers, guys, love it. No, it's not
They
happening.
should do it rather than... Yeah, thanks.
Every player deals with it in a situation. And my point is, I've got no issue with it because they did applaud. The fact they didn't go over there and applaud.
Hold on. You're saying they did applaud.
Yeah.
Right? I've seen no proof of them clapping.
Show me no. I've seen the proof of them clapping.
I don't think you have.
I've seen it.
When they walk off, they're not clapping.
Yeah, but they've clapped before that.
How do you know?
Because I know.
No.
I'm telling you now.
I've seen no... You
I know
might be
people-
right, but I know
facts.
people. Okay, go on, bloke down the pub.
No,
don't you?
I know people that go to
Who do you know?
season ticket holder. I'm not airing them on air.
Go on.
Season ticket holders
No, for this particular game...
and Micky Van der Ven. I promise you, as my witness,
Yeah.
they love him. Right, he's their favourite
that's
player.
fine.
He clapped.
How
So
do you know he clapped?
because I asked the question straight away.
Mate, you just... Hello, mate. Yeah, it's Darren
Hey,
here.
Van
Did Van der Ven
no,
clap? He did. Cheers.
no, I
See you
said.
tomorrow.
No, this is what I said. I went. I know you went to the game.
This conversation didn't happen.
I'm telling you now.
I'll tell you what, you're such a liar.
No, but you're
such a liar.
You're putting me under
Swear
pressure.
to God that you phoned your mate up.
I swear. But my point is, it doesn't.
Let's not move on this. Swear on your kid's life. You phoned your Tottenham mate up and go, just a quick, hello, Benny, I've not spoken to you for 2
message,
years.
Swear,
Hey,
message.
Show me the message.
I'll show you. I'll show you.
Show me now.
I'm telling you now.
Oh, you've deleted it.
That's what happened.
Why are you sweating?
It doesn't really matter where they clapped
But
from.
we don't know he clapped.
You don't know he didn't.
Oh, I haven't seen proof to suggest he did.
No, I just think it's been blown out of proportion.
Okay, let me ask you this. If he didn't clap,
Disgusting. I said that.
Right.
If there's no footage of them clapping and they just walked off,
right?
then that's poor.
Okay.
But I think they did clap.
But he's every right to clap on his own in the centre circle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Hold on. What about if I'm going to speak to Richard now? What happens if he went and he tells you he didn't clap?
Oh, and he proved that they didn't clap. He's got video evidence.
All right, let's speak to Richard. Hello, Richard, Spurs fan.
Hello, mate. How you doing?
I'm good. Were you there at the weekend?
I was.
Okay.
I was there. And, yeah, so look, my take on it, I agree with Darren, to be fair. So, look, the performance itself was absolutely woeful. I think there was a little bit of disrespect shown to the manager. I don't think it's one of those that needs to be blown out, you know, in the media and in front of everybody. I think internally they'll have a word, nip it in the bud, and crack on. I don't think it's a big deal. I think Darren's right. They did applaud the fans. There was they did ignore him a little bit on as he went to sort of shake their hands, but not a big deal. To be honest, if anything, I think they've done Thomas Frank a favour, because what we should be talking about, in all honesty, is
True.
I mean,
That's
there's bad performance, bad performances, and there's bad performances, but that was woeful.
You're 100% right. They've both done the manager a favour.
100.
Yeah, they've done him a favour, mate. I mean, I know the game, and what we should be talking about, like I say, is the performance or lack of it. Performance. Yeah. And in fairness to Spence, and look, Van der Ven probably had his worst game for Spurs in a Spurs shirt, so we can live with that. But I thought Spence was probably the only one that showed any real intent and aggressive and a bit of desire. I thought it was so lacklustre from the rest. I'd rather they showed that sort of passion during the game than
Can I ask, before I let you go, Richard, before I let you go,
go on, mate.
Did you actually see with your own eyes at the end of the game Djed Spence clapping?
Yeah. Listen, it wasn't one of those big high five claps. It was a bit of a, you know, a wishy-washy one, if you like, and it was, you know, it wasn't great, but there was a clap there. Look, coming off that pitch after that performance, they've got every right to be extremely disappointed.
Yeah.
And I don't think it was aired towards the fans. I just think that, you know, the whole evening was very, very bad.
Okay.
And I think if I was Thomas Frank, he's obviously quite good and he knows how to deal with these things.
I'm sure
he'll sort it out and he'll move on, and we just crack on and try and rectify that performance, because it wasn't good enough.
Richard, we spoke to you before.
I have been on, not with yourself actually. I've been on with Jim a couple of times.
Okay, listen, don't worry about that show. This is where it's at. Make sure you call us back again, all right?
All right, top man.
All right, have a good afternoon. Good call.
Very pointing that, by the way. They took it the shot. You're right, because they were
clever.
awful.
Yeah, we should be sitting here going, Spurs were a joke.
Yeah.
And in fact, we haven't even talked about Tottenham.
I mean, their XG Spurs was 0.1.
I don't care, man. Don't ever quote XG.
Chelsea's were 3.6.
Don't ever quote XG on the show again.
Why?
It doesn't mean anything.
It does, mate.
It doesn't, because teams with high XGs have lost.
Yeah, I get that.
It doesn't mean it's just a pointless number.
No, but that's me telling you they should have won.
Okay, I'll tell you what we do. I'll tell you what we do. From now, let's carve it in stone. We've got about a minute. We'll carve it in stone. If you can, without flustering your line, explain XG,
Right.
we will, from here on, count it.
What if I get a
Hold on, no. If you can't, we won't.
Okay, well, I can get a voice. You got to give me a phone a friend.
Because
phone a friend.
No, if you're using it in context, you must understand
I
it.
get it, but people will understand it more.
No, don't use words you don't understand.
Phone a friend. Just give me one phone a friend.
No, but
just one.
No, but if you don't understand it, don't use it. So what is XG?
No, but not now. We've got to go to break.
There you go.
Hey, Jay, we've got to go to break. Joe, ask Joe.
No.
Quarter past.
I'll tell you what.
Quarter past, quarter two.
I'll tell you what to do. I'll let you phone your friend in the break, and when we come back, in your words, explain it.
All right.
Otherwise, we'll never use it again. Right. Okay, the explanation for XG and your calls, 03717 22 33 44. Get dialed in.